Kevin McCullough.
So glad to have you back with us. It's That Kevin Show. And as we do on these weekends, we go through a lot of stuff. And I know the journey tonight has been pretty exhaustive. We started out talking about the Islamic flags. We talked about small business. We talked about travel. Obviously, we've had some great sketch comedy from the Babylon Bee and the Holderness family. And come on, how good was Teddy Swims in the first hour? It's still to come. A heart-wrenching duet from Teddy. And Maren Morris is going to join him on that in just a little bit. But before we go anywhere, I want to do two things. I want to make sure you know that your chance to win a That Kevin Show mug is still operational. Every week we are drawing a new name. And if you have not sent your registration, just send an email to thatkevinshow@gmail.com. In the subject line, put mug in some form. And then in the body of the email, put which one you want. Do you want the black one with the white logo? Or do you want the white one with the black logo? They're both very sharp. I love both of them. I love my coffee. It stays equally hot in both of them. And then, you know, Eric, the travel guy, was with us last hour, and I'm serious. I think it would be fun to take a trip. If you have a desire to maybe travel with yours truly to some exotic location, be it eating our way through Italy or Spain or Greece or Ireland or Hawaii or something, drop me an email. Same email address, thatkevinshow@gmail.com, thatkevinshow@gmail.com, and tell me where you think it would be fun to go. One of the things I read about recently is eating your way through Italy, and you go to 9 different culinary regions, and you eat the 9 different like native foods that are, you know, made in that specialized in that region, and it just looks phenomenal. So it'd be fun, and with someone like Eric to kind of guide us into where to go and make sure we know, you know, we get the best part. That might be a lot of fun, actually. Thatkevinshow@gmail.com, thatkevinshow@gmail.com. Now, I'm very excited to report to you that for yet another week in a row, you have been very helpful in freeing slaves that have been taken captive in Sudan. And I want to just give you an update. We were sitting at 52 slaves last week for our efforts. And by the way, here in the spring, we're trying to liberate 104. So that would have been, you know, exactly the 50% way mark for those 104 in this first half of this year. And the reason that we want to liberate them now, we want to speak for them now, is because there is a liberation just around the corner where the CSI personnel are going to go into the regions where the slaves are at and liberate the slaves and bring them home. We do this 2 or 3 times a year. And we want to make sure that we get the slaves spoken for that we are going to liberate. So we were at 52 a week ago. As of tonight, we are at 64 slaves freed of the 104 that we're hoping to do here in the first half of the year. Ultimately, we want to do 208 for the whole year, but 64 have been spoken for. So thank you for your generosity, and thank you for calling 888-342-1010, 888-342-1010. What does your $250 one-time gift do? It basically, after the slave's freedom has been negotiated, it basically gives the slave everything they need to start their life over again. Food for a year, seed to plant food for the coming year. Sorghum grain is what they eat primarily. So you get a year's worth of sorghum, a year's worth of seed. There's utensils to garden, cook, and fish with. There are tarps to help protect from weather. There's blankets and things to help make comfortable. And these slaves are returned back to the region where they were originally absconded from, usually as young girls, and now they're returning home as women that have been in slavery for most of their life. But every time that we do, the town that welcomes them home just goes crazy. They have the biggest party you could ever believe. So all of that is what your $250 accomplishes. Oh, and they get a kid goat, a little she goat that helps make more goats for them to to survive with and to thrive with in a micro enterprise kind of way. And your gift tonight does that. 888-342-1010, 888-342-1010. Please don't delay, but call right now and help us to free as many of them as you can.
It took me 15 days to walk the journey back to South Sudan. But that marked a passage for my life. from the horrors of slavery to a future filled with hope. Taken when I was just a child, snatched away literally from my mother's arms, my dreams of happiness were shattered as my living nightmare began. And suddenly, I found myself a slave. My slave master stripped me of my Christian faith and even my name, and he stamped on me instead a Muslim name and identity, and the beginning of a life of endless work. My worst day in slavery is still a vivid memory. My master sent me for a very difficult job of fetching water. The jugs are very heavy, and the distance is very far. When I was on my last trip to the well for that day, a group of Arab men approached the well and began calling out to me. And then they raped me. My master refused to accept my story and even blamed me for what ended up happening. And he did so even though he had raped me so many times before that. Because I have no idea of my birthday or even hometown. When I arrived to South Sudan, I was very blessed to be able to join a community of 150 other former slaves. And as I am now pregnant with a child that was conceived from my abusers, it's my hope to be a loving and caring mother. I hold no remorse against this child because I am so grateful. I wish to send thanks to God and thanks to those of you who cared about me and brought me safely home. And I would like to ask that you not stop until every captive is freed, fed, and healed. My name is Abuk Garang, and because of your faithfulness, I was freed in November of 2023. And this is my story.